Alright, so we're going to start cutting the parts for the first star we're going to do. It's just a Texas star, basically, is what we're looking at. And we're going to stay true to form and use pallet wood. So I'm going to get started cutting those. The first cut is going to be 45 degrees. Now if we get our first 45 cut, we're going to measure 5 inches from the longest part. And we're going to make another 45 degree cut there. We're going to do that 5 times. And it's helpful to set up a stop block so you don't have to measure every single one. After you've got all your pieces cut 45, 45, we're going to measure this distance right here, and that's exactly 5 inches. So we're going to measure 5 inches on this far side and mark it. And that's where we're going to make our next cut at 31.6 degrees. I set up a stop block over here so we get the same cut each time on that. After we make the first 31.6 degree cut, we take our piece and just flip it over and cut the opposite side. And we do that on all 5 of the pieces. Now we've got all our pieces cut, and you see they fit together at the 31 degree mark to make the star. There's lots of ways you can assemble this. You could use CA glue, which is great. I don't have any of that on hand. So we're going to use regular glue, and we're going to shoot a short nail into each one of these pieces so they stay together. Alright, we'll just do one on the front too, and then we'll fill the holes. Alright.
What you doing?
Looking at this picture.
No, what are you doing?
Trying to figure out how to put this star together.
You don't realize you're on camera?
Hey. Little math, doing a little math, y'all. You know how I feel about math.
Yeah.
I love it.
Angles. It's all about the angles.
I'm so bad at math.
Actually, he's really not bad at math at all. Don't let him fool you. It's just the angles. The degree of angle that gets him.
Yeah. No bueno. Alright, on the second style star, we've got 2 different sizes of pieces, and they both have different angles cut on each end. The first one, starting with about an 8-inch piece of wood, we use the cedar cut-offs from our clock, so I have a ton of them laying around. This piece is 1 3/4 by about 3/4 of an inch. We're going to we'll start with one size. That size will start with a 54 degree cut on one end. And we'll do that 5 times. And then we're going to come back and we're going to cut 36 degree cut on the other end. So let's do all the 54 degree cuts first. All right, after we get all those first cuts made, we're gonna come back from the long point of the 54-degree cut, and we're gonna measure down 6 inches. And we're gonna cut 36-inch cut in the opposite direction. Well, that would
36 degrees.
36 degrees. That direction. I don't know how to explain that better.
Opposite
The
direction.
opposite direction. All right, we did 5 of the longer piece. Now we're going to do 5 of the smaller piece, starting with the same first 54-degree cut. So now we've cut the second piece, second size, all 54 degrees on one end, and we're going to measure down 4 3/4 from the long point of that angle, and we're going to cut it 36 degrees at that 4 3/4 degree mark. That's a lot of numbers. Let me measure. Okay, after that mess, we should have 5 long pieces that are 6 inches long, with one side cut at 54 degrees, the other side cut at 36 degrees. And then we should have 5 pieces with the smaller size, it's 4 3/4, with one end at 54 degrees and the other end at 36 degrees. That's as plain as I can explain it. Okay. Now we're going to put them together, which this will be exciting. We're all going to learn together on this one. We're taking the 36-inch cut on the long one to the 36-inch cut on the short one, and we're going to glue them and nail them together. When I say I'm terrible at math, I mean I am terrible at math. Okay, we're gonna do that for all 5 sets. Okay, we've got all 5 sets done. Now we're going to assemble the sets together. So we're going to take the 54 degree mark on the long one of this set, and we're going to glue and nail it to the 54 degree mark on the short set. Or the short side, whatever. Now these don't line up angle to angle. The shorter one comes to the bottom side of the angle like that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. We're glued it, and now we're going to nail that together. Now we're moving on to the third set. We're going short side 54 degrees to long piece 54 degrees. And once again, we're not meeting the angles together. We're going right to the bottom of the long piece. Now we'll move on to the fourth set.
What did you do right there? What piece did you put with what piece?
Okay, once again, short side 54 degree coming to the edge of the long side 54 degree, and we're going to glue it and nail it together. Now you see it's almost a star. Oops. Okay. The last piece, short side 54 degree to long side 54 degree, we'll glue that. And short side 54 degree to the other long side 54 degree. I almost need 3 hands for this. Now on the last one, short side 54 degree butts up to the long side 54 degree. I put some longer nails in just to give it a little something to grab onto. Be sure not to shoot yourself in the finger, like I said. We're just gonna go around and put an extra nail through the long side, just so it holds together better. And there's a star. Let's all pat ourselves on the back, because I had no idea that would work out the way it did. Okay guys, angles, we got a lot of them. We're gonna make the snowflake. The snowflake is just a bunch of 45 degree cuts. A bunch of little diamonds and whatever shape that is. I will give you the measurement of each of these in the description because, well, it's taken a while to figure them out, and if you want to make them, this will be helpful. So the snowflake is 20 inches diameter, 20-inch diameter. We're going to start by cutting out the 3 20-inch sticks and getting them stuck together, and then we can start building all the little angles and the little diamonds and all that. So let's get started with that. Alright, we're going to cut all of our parts before we start putting together. That way we've got them all and we don't have to keep bouncing back and forth from saw to table. So we're going to start with the diamonds. We cut these out of, and these are cut-offs again from our shelf wood. They're just scraps. They're 1.5 inches wide. They're about 1/4 inch thick.
You could use runners and use cut-offs that way.
Yeah, you can use anything you want.
Yep.
These are easy to work with because they're thin and they're skinny, and we just have a you know what load of them. So start off with a 45 degree on one end. And you can do it either way, whichever direction you're more comfortable with. This is the template. Like I said, I'll put it in the description. And once you get your template, you can just start marking. And the easier way to do that would be to set up a stop block so you know everyone's going to be the same rather than marking 75 little pieces. Alright, we've got all the diamonds cut. We're going to cut this piece, which is a point on one end and a 45 on the other. This is where a template would really come in handy, because measuring 16 or however many, 8 of these, 12 of these, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 of these would be a big headache. Start with a 45 on one end and line up your point to the 45, and then you can just drop it in the trash. Get your point cut, and then you can mark your 45 and just cut that. Also, stop block. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right, let's start putting this thing together. We've got all of our parts cut, and we're gonna find the middle of these boards, which is 10 inches, and line them up, and draw a line across the 3 of them. Bowed? No, okay. Now, with eye glue and tiny nail these. I've got some 1/2-inch finish nails. Anything longer with this particular wood, it would go all the way through. All right, we're just gonna put a little bit of glue there. And then we're just gonna eyeball as best we can the even
Spread them out a little more.
yeah, well,
There you go.
eyeball them. This. Does that look even?
Yeah. That looks good.
Okay, whenever you find a position you like, put them in there. Now we'll set the 3rd one on top. Good. We'll nail that one. All right, we've got it spaced evenly the way we want it. And we're going to start from the outside edge, putting a diamond at the end of each one of these sticks. And the way I was doing it was lining up the points of the diamond with the edge of the board, trying to get it as straight as I could. Okay. And from that point, we're going to start adding the pointed angle pieces. We did this from the inside out yesterday on the sample, and it was difficult to get everything lined up, so this is the way we decided to do it. And on this one, we are making the inside angle basically touch the angle of the diamond. Now we're going to start on the inside. We're going to find kind of a center point there. Okay, starting in the middle, we're going to get a little bit of glue out there. And each one of these points meets this middle point and go like points between the arms of the snowflake.
There it is.
There's that one.
So we've drawn out the shape of a stocking, and right now we're just making a template with some thin board, and we've cut off the big bulky parts on the bandsaw, and we're going to cut the rest off with the scroll saw. Okay, there it is. So now that we have our stocking template made, we can just reuse this over and over and make as many stockings as we want, and it'll be a lot easier now. So now we're just going to trace it onto the board.
And if this is something you feel like making and you have the means, this template would be good for using a flush cut bit on a router table.
And just like that, easy peasy, it's traced out. Now all we have to do is cut out the stocking. All right, so now we're gonna paint our stockings. I don't know if you can see it, but I've taken a pencil and drawn a line for the top of the stocking because this is gonna be white. And then I drew a line for the heel, which will be white, and then the tip of the stocking. So I'm gonna start with the red. I guess it doesn't matter which color you start with. And I'm gonna paint the lines around the areas. Try to anyways. All right, so that's the red. I'm probably gonna let the first coat of red dry and before I put on the first coat of white because I don't want it to get pink around the edges. So I'll just set that to dry. So now I'm gonna go in with the white. I've given the red a little bit of time to dry. That way when my lines meet, it doesn't make pink. I'm just using some Waverly white chalk paint. I guess I should have gotten a bigger brush. I think I picked the smallest brush I could find. Just gonna go ahead and pour a little of this paint on here. Yeah, it doesn't pour very well. I read somewhere that this Waverly chalk paint is more opaque than just your regular white craft paint, so that's why I chose it. Either way is fine though. You know, the craft paint is cheaper, and like I've showed you guys before, you can always add plaster of Paris to it and make it into chalk paint, which that probably is what gives it the opaqueness. If opaqueness is a word, I'm not sure. right, I'll straighten it up some more on the second coat of white, but that's looking pretty good so far.
Next one we're doing is the freestanding stocking holder. Once again, all pallet wood, reclaimed wood. We've got some really nice, thick, those are actually probably 2x4s. Nice, big, thick wood there. And then for the hanging part where you put the hooks to hold the stockings, that's like 1x6-ish. Another piece of pallet wood. It's got some knots on it that we'll have to deal with, but that's not bad. And then for the feet, we've got these also really thick pieces of 2x4. This is a very simple project. Nothing fancy about it except the feet have some decorative edge routed onto them. So let's get going on that. All right, we're going to start out by cutting the leg parts to 33 inches. We're going to use the big fat 2x4s. So we had a viewer request to see the routing I do up close. This is the OG bit. This is what it looks like. And we're going to go around all four sides of each one of the feet. So here you go. We've decided to fancy it up a little bit and do the face of the hanging part, I guess, where the stockings hang. We're going to do it with the same OG bit. Alright, we've got our face piece routed, so I did a quick sand on it because it was really furry wood. We've got our legs cut and sanded. Now we're going to attach the legs to the feet, which have also been routed and sanded. So I'm going to find the center points to drill the screw holes, and then we'll attach the legs. Now we've marked the halfway point between both legs, or between half the width of the foot. You know what I mean. You guys hear me? So the center point, or this piece of wood centered on the foot, we're going to measure 3 11/16 from each end. And this is where the leg is going to sit. That's where we're going to screw the holes. You see the leg will fit right in.
Wait, continue.
She asked why I was marking on the bottom of the foot, because I'm going to drill through the bottom up through the top, and we're going to screw the leg to the foot from the bottom. So that is why all the marks on the bottom of the foot. Okay, now we need a comfortable place for the screws to be screwed in. Probably, inch and a quarter from each end of the, yeah. All right, that's where we're going to drill. All right, we're going to put some glue here, and we're going to hold it up to the bottom of the foot, and I'm going to put a couple nails in just to hold it in place, and then we'll screw it. Actually, just one nail will be plenty. All right, we're gonna drill a couple countersinks in here so the screws are flush with the bottom.
What kind of bit is that?
This is a countersink bit.
Hold it up to the camera. I didn't know those existed.
It makes a divot that your screw head fits down inside of, so it's flush with the bottom of the leg.
Very nice.
They also make drill bits, countersink drill bits that have this with a long drill bit coming out so you can drill and countersink at the same time. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and drill the foot, or screw the foot to the leg. Okay, now we're gonna attach the
Place to hold the stocking.
place to hold the stockings. I don't know why I can't figure that out. We've got an inch overhang on each side to match the inch overhang from the foot to the leg. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue under there. Guess we'll just staple it and we can fill the holes. If you're going to build these to ship them, you'll probably want to screw this in so it can be removed and it all taken apart for shipping. But this will be ours, so we'll be hanging on to it. Alright, we've got to put this piece between the legs at the bottom to give it some stability. This is about a 2-inch piece of cut off 2x6. I've made a mark all the way across 5 inches up from the foot, and I've made a mark at the halfway point on each side of the 2x6. And we are just going to guesstimate the middle of that where it splits the leg, and we're going to put a couple nails in. I'm not plugged in. Sorry. This is another thing where if you're going to sell these to ship, you might want to put either screws in through each side or pocket hole screws on the back. We do that a lot. They work out really good. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I've gone ahead and sanded the snowflakes by hand. I don't want to put a sander to them or probably break, so real quick sand on the wood filler. And now we're going to paint them both white, and we're going to do some sparkly stuff over that.
Sorry, there was a piece of
I missed a spot.
wood filler that I had to pick off.
You might want to sand these before you put them together. That would probably be smart. I didn't do that. It'll add texture. We're just using white spray paint because there's lots of little spots to get in and out of with a brush.
Oh, that would take forever to paint with a brush. And this is a gloss white because snowflakes are shiny.
They are.
I think that would be pretty. Of course, you can do a matte finish and make them more rustic looking, but I think snowflakes should sparkle myself. But
yep. This is probably going to take a couple of coats. We're going to do it white so we don't get a bunch of runs all over it.
Is that one of my blonde hairs on it?
That is a spider web.
Spider web, okay.
A dust. Whoop,
Don't do that, y'all.
dust web.
There we go. Maybe I'm going to use several coats of the spray paint. You could probably do like a primer spray paint first, like a hill, because it's so opaque. Then you just do that. One coat of that and then one coat of spray paint. I don't think you have any spray paint.
No.
We're going to use this.
I didn't buy this extra snowflake something already.
Yeah, so this is going to be 0 cost for us. I just can't spray paint for the way I paint for itself. The wood was wrapped around. Trying to get glue and a little bit of nails in.
Yep.
Almost.
And 3 is for me.
Yeah, 3 is for me.
Alright, we got the first one painted, got a coat on it. This is the bigger one. This is the one we built on camera. We're going to paint it now.
Okay, so the snowflake paint has dried. You can say it's got a shine to it because it was gloss spray paint. Now I'm going to take my tiny, tiny can of glitter. It's not really glitter, it's more like a shimmer, and it'll just give it some sparkle and look very Christmassy. Those are our dogs barking in the background. Apparently my voice must sound funny.
You guys know the dogs.
If we ever like goof around and talk with a different voice, they bark and act crazy like we're somebody else. But like if you have a booth set up at a Christmas craft show, having something sparkly in your booth hanging on the wall or wherever will attract people, and under the lights, usually in those places, they'll catch the light and look really good. So it's just enough shimmer to look pretty, but not tacky like big chunks of glitter. I really like it. So that's that. So here's the little teeny tiny cute little can of glitter spray I bought. If you can see the price, it's $4.99 for this tiny can. Now the big can was $8.99, which is probably the better value, but I chose to just buy a little because I'm only going to use a little. I like glitter, but only like at Christmas. I think that's the time to make things sparkle. The rest of the year, I like more of the distressed farmhouse type of look, but I just wanted to show you guys how expensive this tiniest little can costs. So use it sparingly.
So we're going to move on to the 2 stars. They're going to be silver and gold metallic color, but when you're painting with those, they're really thin, so it's better to have a white base coat or a similar color base coat, solid color, to cover the wood, and then you can come back and do the gold and the silver. Really, it's just something to fill up the grain.
I wouldn't worry about the edges with the white, just the top. That's really not very good white spray paint, is it?
No, it was like $1.
Was it? Is it from Lowe's?
Yeah.
So maybe it pays to spend a little bit more on your spray paint.
It does. More expensive is usually better as far as spray paint goes. That stuff's garbage.
Yeah. Very see-through.
Yep.
That's probably good.
So we'll come back with one of the silver or gold on that.
And that stuff is junk.
Yeah. Okay, we got the 1 Texas star, I guess we'll call it. We're gonna do silver and metallic on it, and we put the white on it already, so this should cover really well.
And if you guys, don't spray paint much, just take your time. It's better to do several light coats than to try to put too much on all at once. That's when you start getting runs.
Yeah, and it won't dry if you put too much on at one time.
Yeah. And if you mess up, you know what? We've messed up lots of times. Just get out your sander, sand it back down, and start over.
Yeah, or throw it away and build a new one.
That's the great thing about wood. You can just sand it back down.
That's right. Now on the other star, we're just going to go straight to the gold because it's better paint, and we have enough to do several coats if we need to.
It's a little more opaque. So many time the silvers and golds, they're very translucent and you can kind of see through them and you need like an opaque background, but this gold in particular is pretty opaque, so I think it'll work out without having a primer or a white coat down
you
first.
probably could have used a primer, but it'll be all right. We'll put multiple coats on it.
This kind of can also has is so much easier to spray because it's got the
It's got like
not the thing that you just pull back with your
grip
finger.
kind of.
Yeah. Those regular cans of spray paint end up hurting my finger after painting for a while.
Yeah, they're hard to use for very long.
But they also sell those things you can put on top of a can of spray paint. I don't know if you've seen them, and it makes it like a
your spray gun.
Spray gun, yeah. Those are worth getting.
Yep. All right, there's a coat on that one. It'll probably need a couple more, but it looks good so far.
It's gonna look really pretty. I'm gonna string some micro LED lights around it. My daughter got married a year ago, and we had a bunch of the LED lights for the centerpieces, floral arrangements, and I had quite a few left over. I had ordered them from Temu. I think I got like, I don't know, a ridiculous amount, like 30 of them for a few dollars. Really, check out Temu or Temu, however it's pronounced, for things like that because you can get them so cheap.
Mm-hmm. This is the third coat of the gold. I did a little scuff sand in between this coat and the last coat just to knock down some of the rough areas.
Will you show them what kind of sanding thing you used so they'll know?
Yep, it was I think that's like 100 grit little thin cheap sanding sponge you get at I get these at the paint store. They're like 80 cents a piece or something. So the last thing we're doing is the stocking stand holder. We've got these little, I guess, alligator clips or something that we're going to put on to hold the stockings. And this is going to hold 4. So before I paint it, I'm going to lay out where we want them, and I'm going to drill the holes so we don't have to do that and mess up the white paint. So,
ideally, you should use probably a hook.
Yeah.
But we don't have any hooks right now, so we're just going to use these clips. They're actually really strong clips. Yeah. But, you know, put on there whatever you choose to hold the stockings on. I think for us, those will be fine because our stockings are decorative. They're not really, we don't fill them, so.
Yeah, we're old for stockings.
Yeah.
So these are about 6 3/4 inches apart from each other. That's about as evenly spaced as I can make them.
And even if we decided to fill the stockings, once this is on here, it's going to be very secure. We could hang the stocking on the clip itself, so you could either clip it or hang it on that thing. So. Yeah,
and we're going to screw them to the face of this, so they'll be on there pretty good. So I've got my holes marked, and I'm gonna drill a little hole real quick, and then we'll paint it. So we're just using the tiniest, I don't even know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, they can see it.
Tiniest drill bit I've got just to make a little pilot hole so the wood doesn't split when we go to screw in the screws.
And the screws we're going to use are silver, but our clips are black. These are These are the screws. So we'll probably spray paint our screws so they'll match.
Right. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and start painting this thing. Just using white latex as we do on most everything.
All right, guys. So those are the 5 projects we did this week. We did the Christmas stocking holder. We did the sled. We did 2 different kinds of stars, snowflakes, and the stockings. Which the stockings and the sled oil. I love all of it. Those are my personal favorites. But I think the stocking holders are a great idea because.
Yeah.
Like, where do you put stockings when you don't have a fireplace mantle?
Yeah, we'll start with that one. We can't really get it in the picture here very well, so here's what it looks like finished. We hung some stockings on it so you could see what it would look like. This one, if you're going to sell it, I would make it in a way where you can take it apart, flat pack it, because that'll be a lot cheaper than a big square box. We would go $175 on that one. Plus shipping. Probably all these are going to be plus shipping.
Yes.
Because shipping is hit or miss. You don't really know.
And on the stocking holder, the part across, I mean, you could decorate it any way you want. You know, you can do that as an added feature. Like, you could personalize them with stencil or with vinyl, however you do your lettering.
And you can make the part that holds the stockings taller to accommodate.
Yeah.
Personalization.
I've seen them on Etsy, and they do offer the personalization. They offer like a choice of stain color or paint color. You could wrap ribbon around it, tie a big bow, you know, all those extras. And
make it bigger or smaller depending on your family.
Many stockings. Yeah, so you can offer wider ones.
Yep.
You know, and all those little extras that you add to it will make your product stand out from the rest.
That's right.
I really like that one.
I do too. Let's do the little stars and get them out of the way.
Yeah. Now, we painted these silver and gold because I thought, well, silver and gold, well, there's a Christmas song that sings silver and gold. Would I paint these to sell this color? Maybe not.
Probably not.
I noticed when we painted this color, you could see all the little imperfections in the wood, and I really didn't like that. I also thought about it could be painted this color and then taped off and a white star painted in the middle, but still have the silver around the edges.
And as far as this one goes, I probably would not make them out of cedar. Cedar, like I said, is so porous. It's like a sponge.
Yeah.
So metallic colors on cedar, not so much.
And these are just those little micro LED lights. I ordered, I think, 30 of them on Temu, however you say it, for like $2 or $3.
Yeah.
And they just have this little thing back here. They come with the battery and everything.
Yep.
So that's a great price.
Yeah, they're really cheap. The small one, we would do 25 on. And the bigger one, we would do 55, and that was including the lights from the comparisons I saw.
Yes.
So not including shipping. And something about shipping on Etsy, they've started more or less demanding that you are at $6 or less on your shipping.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to do that, they're going to put your stuff way at the bottom of the search. So my advice would be factor your shipping into your price so you don't have to hassle with that.
And these lights also
They
have
turn on and off.
Flash,
Yep.
slow flash,
Yeah, fancy.
or stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's those. Get those out of the way.
Yes. Now they also sell these kind of lights at Hobby Lobby. They're a little more expensive, but if you don't have time to wait, because who knows when stuff will get to you from overseas right now.
We'll do the
Snowflakes.
My nemesis.
I think these turned out really pretty.
They did.
The shimmer spray we bought just added that little extra snowflake touch to them.
Mm-hmm.
I've also seen these painted like a soft blue or even like a almost aquamarine blue, but real pastel, real pale.
Right.
And the shimmer would look really pretty over those as well.
Yep. The small one we would do 30 on. The larger one we would do 40 on. And you can either do a bigger or a smaller than either of these and make them a set.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what the shipping would be on these. I would definitely charge shipping because it's going to be a fragile box. Because
you have to pack it really well.
Mm-hmm. So there's those.
But for local shows, fall, winter shows, craft shows, those are going to be, all this stuff is going to be what people are looking for, and they'll all sell really well.
And you can make them hang on the wall. You can put a hanger on them or stand on the shelf or hang from the ceiling if you want.
Yes.
All right. This one is another partnership with Xtool. Thank you, Xtool.
Yes.
We appreciate it very much. These are the little personalized stockings we made out of the pallet wood. Very, very cool little thing. I
had some of this in my craft supply, this rope. So I just tied that on there. I got one thing of Christmas greenery at Hobby Lobby for like $2.99. And I just cut off little branches of it. So that $2.99 piece will do like 6 to 8 stockings, sorry. Yeah. And then I bought some little jingle bells because I thought those were cute. Now on the Xtools engraving, this one looks kind of silver and that one looks kind of gold, which I really like. This was at 40% power of engraving, and that was 50. So it kind of changes the difference in how dark or kind of what color they look. But it's really cool that it turned out silver and gold.
Yeah.
So
very cool. And if there's not a lot of these out there. We couldn't find many at all.
This is something pretty unique right now. So
this is untapped thing.
Yeah. So.
Right. So
easy
these,
to make.
Right. These we would do 20 each, and if you personalize them, maybe a little more than that.
Yep.
They're easy to pack, so maybe throw another $5 on your shipping price or charge extra. You
could get a Merry Christmas stencil.
Or an Xtool.
Or an Xtool, or if you don't have the money to get an Xtool, is what I'm saying. A stencil, or you could get a little screen print thing. I've seen those, where you just rake the paint across it, which is a great idea too. But I mean, by all means, if you can get the engraver,
I got to tell you, if you guys are even a little bit interested in the Xtool, you should find a way to get one. This thing, it does everything. It's crazy what this thing can do. And if you're interested, we will put a link in the description to the Xtool. Get one. Yeah. I mean, really, if you have to save up for it, get one. We should have got one years ago. Yeah,
we realize now we have barn door clocks, and we've been buying pre-made numbers to put on these because they're raised numbers. Well, we can cut them out with our Xtool, and we're like, why in the world didn't we do that a long time ago?
We could make 1,000 of them for what 5 costs. So, look into it, really.
Yeah.
So
it's a great thing.
Yep.
I've already started on a whole bunch more for next week that we're excited about. And we've got tons of ideas. So we're going to keep doing these for a while with the Christmas series.
Until you guys get tired of seeing them, we're
Yeah.
gonna do them.
Yeah, at some point you're like, okay, guys, enough with Christmas.
Yeah.
Just comment and let us know. We'll switch it up. But
don't forget, if you want to participate in the showing your projects, I put the email address earlier in the episode, so please send us your stuff, send us your name if you want to showcase your builds that we've done.
yes,
We'd love to see them.
yeah, we're just so excited to see what you guys have done and would love to show it to the world.
Yep. So please like our video, subscribe to our channel. If you're watching and you like our stuff but you don't subscribe, please subscribe. We would really appreciate it.
It helps us out so much. Yes, it does.
So that's going to be it for this one. We appreciate you all watching.
We will see you next
We
week.
will. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.